whereas cryonics is the medical application of that. Our own website has been entirely rewritten and restructured. Our old one, if any of you remember it, was hideous, had a lot of broken links. I think it had one page hacked by a militant religious extremist, had some really old contact information that went to people who aren't in those positions anymore. All in all, wasn't a very good thing. Now it's very, very simple. Doesn't break, and it's very, very easy to use. So that's been a big difference to our publicity. Daily Mail ran a newspaper article on some of us. They moved people's words around a little bit, misquoted people slightly, well, quite a bit actually, that kind of thing. They did a feature on couples in cryonics, either both cryonicists or one cryonicists, one not, and the couples' reactions. And they made out like everybody's partner's reactions was to be shocked, surprised, think it's a joke, things like that. That was actually not the case in any of them. But I guess they figured it made a better story, and it wasn't bad for cryonics. They didn't say anything that was drastically wrong. Other than that, the only errors were minor journalistic things. They got people's names and ages and things like that wrong. So that was, not a bad piece. This piece here, I've had so many people tell me, oh, that wasn't so bad. Personally, I think it was horrendous. The Guardian ran an article on us. One of their journalists visited us when we were still down in Peacehaven. It was the last training down there, actually. So things weren't as good as they are now, but they weren't also anywhere near as bad as he made out either. A lot of things were, exaggerated, to make us look bad. I've done what I can to, wherever I see that thing on the internet, to post refutations of all the factual inconsistencies. That said, that article did drive a lot of other press and journalists and what have you to contact us. A couple of TV companies, an independent filmmaker or two, another professional photographer, and a couple of print journalists who have all come and done their things, and none of that has been published yet, but some of it might do. They'll probably save it for a bad news day or something. So it has driven a fair degree of media, and I do have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the press when it comes to this kind of thing, because on the one hand, it's a pain to have journalists at our meetings. They slow down our trainings, and I'm a very practical-minded person. I like to keep things very much on track on the training. And also they can do like this fellow from The Guardian did and misconstrue things horribly. But we also do need people to be aware that there is cryonics. It is accessible and affordable. There are suspension services available in the UK, things like this. So it is necessary to get that information out there, and the media are absolutely essential in that. Personally, I have a very strong sense of obligation, because I feel that anybody who does not want to die should be aware that there is a possibility of avoiding it and be able to take those steps. If somebody wants to die, that's absolutely fine. A lot of people say, I don't want to live forever. I have no argument against that. Well, I disagree with them myself, but I don't try to change their minds. If, on the other hand, they don't want to walk so quietly into the night, then I would feel somewhat remiss if by omission of my action they were to be allowed to die. For me, not assisting somebody to become engaged with cryonics, have a good suspension arrangements and a good suspension, would be akin to leaving somebody bleeding in the street without calling 999 or administering first aid. For me, it would feel the same. Obviously, 150,000 people die every day, and they will continue to die until we get this problem fixed. So, with the weight of 7 billion lives on my mind, I'm quite motivated to do what I can for this field. Many people consider me extreme in that regard, but I know there are a few people who think the way I do as well. not too many. This one here, that wasn't too bad. I thought it was quite good actually. Some of us and a few others were interviewed on a daytime television program, which I was of two minds about that, because I thought, are the kinds of people who watch daytime television programs likely the kinds of people who are very motivated to get out and do things? But notwithstanding, you know, publicity, good publicity gets information out there, and also it's obviously got on the internet since then, mostly thanks to Adam doing a fantastic job of getting stuff on out on YouTube and publicising it, and it does drive a lot of interest as well. They had another fellow on with us. His name was Roger Eyre. We suspended his mum sometime previously. It's not breaching any confidentiality for me to say that. He's been very public about it. So he was on the air, his arrangements himself as well. And the fellow on the left is a physicist from CERN. The journalist before him told me, okay, our lawyers have told us we need to get a independent scientific person on the show as well to present an independent viewpoint. There won't be for or against cryonics, but there will be a scientific expert on the subject, but they won't be involved with cryonics. So I thought to myself, where are they going to find an expert on cryonics who's not involved with cryonics? So they didn't. They probably Googled cryogenics and found this fellow, who's a very nice chap, nothing whatsoever to do with cryonics, but he works at CERN, which, because of its function, has superconductors, and the superconductors are cold superconductors, and consequently require cryogenic cooling, and that's why they brought him on board. He didn't really argue for or against cryonics. He said that he felt it was a slim probability, but hey, some chance is better than no chance, and it's up to people to decide whether it's worth the investment of their time, energy, money, what have you, for that for the investment. So, you know, it wasn't so bad. In other publicity, most of it hasn't been pushed out yet. It's, you know, things that people have filmed, photographed, or written that have yet to come out. There's recently a bit of ad hominem attacks against me as a person dotted around the internet. Hopefully these things don't affect Cryonics UK adversely, but these things come and go. I understand at Alcor people, employees there will commonly receive death threats from people who take a dislike to their activities. Simply because people have, you know, it's a very emotive thing. You know, on the one hand, we work damned hard to save people's lives. It's our perspective, and another person's perspective might be that we molest corpses and do unnatural things to them. If you tried to do CPR prior to the 50s, you'd have been arrested for molesting a corpse. So a lot of people will still have that kind of attitude, I guess. So yeah, publicity, good, bad and ugly, but we are gradually getting more and more publicity, mostly good, which is beneficial because it helps us to grow our membership, and it helps us to help more people. Coverage, the UK and beyond. It's a little bit of a cheat, this one, because this one's actually not about Cryonics UK directly, so much as our interaction with other local groups and things that may come of that. So at the moment, Cryonics UK, as the name suggests, covers Great Britain, actually, not the UK. Most people think they're too synonymous, but if you look on your passport, if you're a British citizen, it'll say United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So we find it very difficult to cover Northern Ireland at the moment because we're pretty land-based and we don't have any people on the ground there. We have one person who's just also recently signed up as a member, and we basically have explained to him it would be very difficult for us to get there in time. However, on the understanding this on a bona fide basis, and we'll do what we can for him. We hope to improve
your
that.
Ambulance. You've got to get your ambulance.